Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome to another challenge. Today we got ourselves a brand new challenge available here in Splatoon 3 called Work the Angles. So this challenge actually happening right before Splatfest here in Splatoon 3. Not the first time we've played a challenge right before Splatfest, but we do get that nice sunset aesthetic here in Splatsville right before the challenge itself. So let's go to the lobby and see what is going on here. So, as the name implies with this said challenge, Work the Angles has you use the angle shooter. So let's go ahead and start. Work the Angles. Aim is the name of the game. Bring your angle shooters for this battle of best bounces. You can only use weapons that come with the angle shooter sub-weapon. Angle shooter damage will greatly be increased for all players. Angle shooter ink consumption will also be greatly increased for all players, and only primary gear abilities will be enabled. Secondary, no effect. So, what this means is that not only can we only use angle shooter weapons, but the angle shooter itself is the star of the show based on how they buff its overall damage output. But also they had to make sure it would be a little more fair, so you can actually use like your proper weapon, so I understand why it also has more ink consumption. So we can only use angle shooter weapons, which means we only have the new Blobbler Deco, Slosher Deco, Jet Squelcher, Rapid Blaster Pro Deco, Splash Shot Pro, and Big Swig Roller Express available to use. So only 6 weapons here, and I think to start things off, let's just use the brand new Blobbler here, because I think the Blob would be a pretty good starting weapon. Now, since we can only use primary abilities, what we pick for our set abilities, for the most part, won't really matter as long as we're playing around that said angle shooter. So last ditch effort would be pretty helpful. Having some ink saver when it comes to your sub weapon would be helpful, or maybe just in general, maybe go for some of the ink consumption on your own weapons. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and rock this setup. And I'm going to rock my Splatfest team of choice this time around. Big Man Supreme. Let's go. So, without any further ado, let's jump in. Let's join the challenge, get things started. So, as usual for these challenge videos, we're going to be playing our 5 qualifying games, seeing where that puts us in our overall standings, and then from there, I'm going to be playing the rest of this after the said video, getting more challenge power hopefully, and seeing where that puts us at the end of this 2-hour rotation. So this is going to be a very interesting challenge because I've seen people play private battles with just like angle shooter weapons or just sub weapons in general in modes like Splat Zone. So I've kind of seen how this can work as a standalone game mode, but to see it actually available in Splatoon 3 as a proper mode, this is going to be very interesting. So starting things out, we only have 2 different weapons on our team, the Blobbler and the Big Swig, but there's a variety on the other side. So remember, the name of the game on this one is Angle Shooter. So I got to remember to use this, because honestly, while my main weapon can be pretty good, so is the Angle Shooter. So I already got to kill one of these, got to kill with the blob itself. That's pretty good. At this point, we just want to paint and be very careful here. Now, we could just go one whole game just using our angle shooter itself, and I might actually do that for a future round, but I think for now, since we're actually just trying to at least get a feel for how the mode works, I think using a combination of the main and the sub weapon is a good idea. Especially since we have really only one throw to the angle shooter in this, because it takes up what looks like 80% of your ink tank. It's a lot of ink. So, angle shooter itself is not going to be a thing you can spam like the normal game, because normally you can spam this thing pretty well because it's not the most ink-hungry special, or sub. I keep wanting to call it special in this, but might as well feel like one when that's all you're using. But it's normally something you just throw and then use about 40% of your ink, so you can usually throw a second one right away, but not this time around. Now, we're almost actually covering the whole ground. If we can just continue this pace a tiny bit longer. I'm going to use Crack in here and just kind of cover zone, because at this point, we've won the game as long as we can get control back. Okay, I might die here, but at least I didn't paint the full zone with my corpse. Now, if they can take it back, that'd be ideal. I'm gonna jump back in. We're so close. It's on the cusp of being taken over. Come on, team. All right, just get rid of at least the jet squelcher. I think we lost it with that, and sure enough, we were so close. Like, this close for a solid 30 seconds. Man, that was intense. All right, let's just get back into the main arena here. So many angle shots. So many angle shots. You don't normally see this many people play this kind of a sub because, like, let's be real here. Angle shooter is not an easy sub weapon to use in Splatoon 3. It's actually one of the hardest to use in this game. So a lot of people don't really use angle shooter. And as we see here, with the challenge limiting us to only angle shooter weapons, we only have 6 weapons in the whole game that's, you know, kitted out with the said special. And because of that, you don't see many people using it because most of the weapons people use don't even have angle shooter. I think a lot of the top weapons in Splatoon 3 right now when it comes to the overall like competitive meta. We got things like the Tenatech Splatter Shot, which has a splat bomb. You got Ballpoint Splatling, which has a fizzy bomb. You have the Splash-O-Matic, which is suction bomb. So you don't see angle shooter. And that's why a challenge like this is pretty interesting, just to see everyone using it for once, because a lot of people may not even use the the sub weapon once. Call it a special because of how this works. A lot of people may not have ever used this sub weapon, and it's very fair because it's a very hard to use sub weapon. You have to have a very good aim with it to actually get a direct shot with it to do damage. If people pass through the line, they'll get marked, but to do damage, you must hit them directly with the dart. So you're going to see people marked more in this, I think, than actually taking damage. But hey, we won our first game, so we did good there. So let's see how the rest of this goes. So I think now we'll swap to a different weapon, but we'll see what exactly we want to use. Because I think one of these games I am going to full commit to just use the angle shooter. I mean, challenge. We got to make it a challenge, right? That's kind of the point of this series of mine. Like, I don't just play Splatoon in this challenge series, although, as of late, that is pretty much what this series has become. But I do play other games with other kind of special gimmicks to it, so this would not be an exception. So I think the next thing I want to use, I think I want to go Big Swig Roller, and just kind of, more or less this time, I'm going to change things up when it comes to my headgear, and we're just gonna go straight for some sub. So Ink Saver sub on. This will allow me to throw maybe a dart a little bit faster. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know how much it's really gonna take it down because unfortunately here in the lobby area, I can't see how much ink saving I'm really gonna save based on how this mode works. So we'll see once we get into the main attraction. As of right now, I can easily throw 2 darts worth, and just give it a second, I can throw a third. So, just sitting in my ink, I can throw 3 darts in quick succession, which is pretty good. But in this mode, might be able to throw 1 dart and then do a couple flings with the Big Swig. We'll get a feel of this, because I want to just get an idea of how much Ink Saver sub you really need in a mode like this. Now, the only question is, do we have to find a game with Sentry? Normally, challenge mode, we get a lot of games pretty quick, because when challenges are available in Splatoon, a lot of people just drop what they're doing to play this mode, since it's only available at the most obscure times known to man. So, a lot of people are playing challenges when they're available. That was one of the longer queues I've gotten in a while, to say the least. So, jumping in, game number 2. A lot of people rocking their deep cut banners, as they were just given away on the Switch's news app, so check that out. If you play this game and want to get a new banner, you can easily get 3 banners just by checking your home menu. So going into game number 2 here, Big Swig would be really good to cover the said zone because this is a good painting weapon. But I do notice that our line did decrease a little bit, but not by much. It feels like maybe now I'm at 75% ink efficiency when it comes to the angle shooter, so that's not that great. It's like, it did help, just not as much as I hoped. I got a teammate over on the right side using Inkvax. Over here, I'm just gonna be painting the zone. Cannot believe I killed someone with a very weak roll, like playing here. Careful of the blob. Just don't really know where they went now. somewhere around that corner. And sure enough, they're using Kraken. There you go, got him. It's nice that the angle shooter is a one-hit KO, because you saw in the lobby when I was training there, getting a good aim on those dummies, it was only 40 damage. So normally with this weapon, you use it to chip down the health of your opponent, and then finish them off with your main weapon, or let a teammate take care of the finishing blow. But here, that's not the case, because they buffed the damage by another 60 points, so it's gotta be doing at least 100 damage at this point. If it's a one-hit KO, it's gotta be 100. So that's very interesting. But at the same time, the whole idea of this challenge is if you get a good angle shooter shot, then killing your opponent would make a lot of sense, because it's supposed to be more or less about angle shooter in this. Alright, taking the lead, that's good. Get up here. Nice, I got you with the angle shooter. Now, I've played angle shooter a decent amount over the past, I would say, month and a half or so, because when they buffed the Ink Vac special during this mid-season patch, so back in August, I have been playing a little more Jet Squelcher, since that has Ink Vac on it, and it's really good as a very far-away weapon. So it's a really good support weapon, and I've been playing a lot of support in Splatoon 3, because I main Nautilus, which is a Splatling, and they're known for being a support weapon, so this is no exception for me getting the hang of a weapon like Jet Squelcher, and that has angle shooter, which I will be using. Since I'm talking about it, might as well use it this next game, so there you go. Game number 2! Nice W. So that's 2 under our belt so far. I'm liking how this is going. I'm the number 1 Splat Zone anchor. Not surprised it's a big swig. That is kind of my job. So that is that. Hopefully now we can get a new map, because there are 2 maps in this, Museum di Alfonsino and Inkblot Art Academy. If this is anything like the last challenge we did, we kind of want to see if Museum does exist. The last time I did not get to play on the other map for that Zipcaster challenge. So here's hoping. But for now, let's swap our weapons once again. This time, I'm going to select me something different. And as mentioned before, I think I'll pick Jet Squelcher for this. So Jet Squelcher, I think I'm probably just going to keep things as they are. Because again, the main attraction of this mode is the angle shooter, so I'm going to want to use that more often. And if I do, it's going to drain so much of my ink, I won't be able to fire a single bullet. So another thing you might want to rock in this, from what I'm feeling, is maybe some ink recovery. Just because of how much ink you're going to be using. That could be good if you just want to refill your ink right away. And this is all keeping in mind if you're the team pushing ahead and not lowering your points past 50. Because if you're going to be losing a game, last-ditch effort is more valuable, because you get ink recovery, ink saver sub, and ink saver main as all 3 of your perks with last-ditch effort. And the lower your score is overall, meaning like the worse your team is doing, the more of that buff you're going to get. So it might be more advantageous to use the last-ditch effort ability than using the abilities individually, I would say. It really depends on the weapon for if I use last-ditch or just one of the other abilities as the primate. Mainly Ink Saver main, because I don't find as much use for Ink Saver sub, and also using the... I saw someone else over there, I swear. You're hiding. Okay, they got away. I mainly use Ink Saver sub instead of using the Ink Saver... Man, I'm really getting my wires crossed. I'm trying to focus. I mainly use Ink Saver main instead of Ink Saver sub and Ink Recovery up. Reason why is because Ink Recovery up itself is not the most helpful in a game like this, because it doesn't really recover the ink the fastest. You need to use a lot of it to really get the most out of Ink Recovery up. So you're better off having more ink saving abilities on at that point, because when you're moving around the map, you'll just naturally gain back all the ink you've lost. In terms of Ink Saver Sub is more situational. It really depends on your sub weapon if you want to rock that or not, and most of the weapons I play in the game, I don't use sub weapons enough to justify it. So for me, it's last-ditch effort if I'm getting Ink Saver Sub in any fashion, because you need a lot of Ink Saver Sub to also make a difference. It's not the best thing to rock on its own. You need to kind of stack it. Probably like 2 mains of it in a lot of regards. Be careful here because of the Zipcast special. This also got buffed this recent season now, so it's a lot more aggressive. I'm gonna just go back in the map normally because One teammate left. I don't really like jumping back in. There's only one teammate just because of the fact that they could be easily targeted. If I get a good aim, I might be able to kill this guy. No, I marked him, but I didn't kill him, so I hit the crab. Unfortunately, it didn't do enough damage to the said crab itself, so that didn't really help us at all. But we're down to 19 points, so we got a massive lead on these guys. Not much, really, for us in terms of actually like pushing them down any further, which is great. But the problem now is just a matter of, well, getting the zone back. So can I please have this back? Please? I'm asking nicely. And that's a no. Okay. Good day. Fortunately, that guy flanked us. Didn't really see him in time. One of those rare cases where a flank definitely was a thing that no one saw coming because Splatoon 3 map design. Like, what is a flank? You don't normally get to see that because the maps are so small. Although this recent season, that's been changing a little bit, and I hope that's going to continue to be the trend. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I could not reach him because of the floor, ironically enough, that I could use to retreat on. Instead, I pushed forward. I couldn't aim because it was in my way. That's unfortunate. That's a knockout on their side. So that's game 3. Not so good. So we should probably try another weapon again. To be fair, Jet Squelcher was really helpful for this. Inkvac would have been great. I just didn't get to fire it. That was unfortunate. If I fired it before I got killed by that Slosher Deco, I think we might be able to at least take one of the sides of the zone. So if my team could have pushed, say, the right side, so a shot on the left, then we could have gotten it. But it would have been situational. So I think our next weapon I'm going to pick the Splatter Shot Pro because this is a weapon I played a little bit when the game first came out. But I do think on this front I am going to swap the Last Ditch Effort because Splatter Shot Pro is pretty ink hungry. So if we do end up going below 50 points, then I will at least start getting some ink back, which would be really helpful. But we'll see how this goes. So I guess while we're doing this, I do want to mention that this is technically the second challenge of this new Drizzle season. We actually had a previous challenge happen a few days ago. It was actually in the middle of Big Run. For whatever reason, I don't think people who scheduled the challenge realized there was a Big Run, and if they did, they didn't think it through, because I personally think that was a horrible time for it. But there was a new season challenge that happened. New season challenges, I'm not going to be covering going forward, because if there's any challenge you've already played, I'm not going to just make another video on it, because it's the same thing as what we've done in the past. And that is no exception. The new season challenge was just playing Turf War on the brand new stages in the game. And we've done that when challenge mode first became available in Splatoon 3 back in June. So that's why I did not make a video on the said new season challenge. There was just no point. And in fact, I was streaming Splatoon 3 before the challenge became available. And I asked my audience, so I asked my Twitch chat, would you guys like to see that, or is it just not a thing you'd be interested in because we've already covered it? And I got a unanimous don't cover it because we've already seen the said video. So I'm not the only one who thought that it would just be too redundant. I asked you guys and I got the same kind of response, so that definitely helped my decision. So thanks to everyone who's in my Twitch streams and always gives me feedback. If you want to join those said streams, we stream very often over on my Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/SonicGhost64. We stream very often, and in fact, if you're watching this video now, the day this goes up, we actually have a stream later tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be playing Sonic Adventure 2, getting all 180 emblems. We're actually in the said 100% completion journey portion now. We're done with the story mode stuff, so we're actually going to be doing the main objective of our stream series, which is just getting all the emblems and A-ranks. So that's going to be a very long thing. If you see my Sonic Adventure 2 Let's Play a couple years back, or actually last year, I keep on thinking 2022 was a lifetime ago. It's been a crazy couple years, I would say. But if you see my Let's Play of it last year, then I would definitely recommend checking out the streams. If you don't have time to see the said streams, the archive of it does go up pretty much almost right after the stream is over on my stream archive channel, which you can always find in the description of all the videos I put out, along with my own channel. You can just check my channel's listing page, and you'll see that channel listed with other channels I'm a part of, like the O.R.C.A League, along with some friends' channels of mine. But that's enough personal plugging, outside of one more thing. I'm wearing a Splatfest tee. Not me personally right now. I'm wearing this like cool Majora's Mask t-shirt, which you can barely see because of how the camera's cropped. But we are going to be doing a Splatfest stream this Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is another reason why I was wearing this shirt. To let people know there's a Splatfest this said weekend. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be the 3 idols. Which one of the 3 would you like to see as the leader? Shiver, Fry, or Big Man? So this one, essentially, we're just deciding which one of the 3 idols is the best idol. And you don't want to miss it. I'm on Team Big Man for this one. So if you're on Team Big Man, right move. I'll be fighting alongside you. But if you're not, I'm going to be fighting against you. And this is a really convenient time for this Splatfest to happen because it marks the 1-year anniversary of this game's release, as this came out last year, exactly on September 9th, which is the day we're going to be streaming the Splatfest. So that's just kind of a very interesting situation. Stars kind of aligned on that one. I didn't really plan for that to happen, it just kind of did. So definitely check out that stream this weekend, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, over on my Twitch channel, which again, you can always find linked in the description of all the videos I do, along with just finding it on my YouTube page. But now we're done with the plugs. Now let's just try to win this game, because we've been doing pretty good. I mean, now we're not, but beforehand we were. Mouth should be shut. God, that was a perfect shot. That guy got me from downtown. We gotta take the zone back. We're so close. Like, seriously, 7 points. I do see you. Now, since we're so low on that score threshold, we are getting the ink efficiency buffs here. So I'm going to take full advantage of that. I'm going to go ahead, trying to cap the zone here with Crab. We just lost the lead. And I think, yeah, that's it. That's so unfortunate. We were this close. And then they said, stop that. We're going to win now. This zone. This is my zone. And they just immediately took it back. Like, man, we were so close to even capping it there at the end, which is unfortunate. But now we're into game 5. And as I said earlier in this video, the final game, we're going to do things very different, and we're just going to use the angle shooter, which is going to be a bad idea in hindsight, but we must do it. So, I think our best odds, because I have a feeling we're not going to win this game. I'm just going to put that out there right now, but I think our best odds are to leave last-ditch effort on, because we're going to need that, probably. But we're also going to combine it with Ink Saver Sub as our primary gear abilities. Because, again, I'm very certain we're going to need it. So, I guess if anything, I'm going to just wear these. This is definitely a drip. My gosh. I look so different compared to my usual outfits. But you know what? It still matches. So, I'm going to go in with the same weapon. That might make my team angry when they realize I'm never using Crab. Now thinking about it, I should have probably did this as a big swing or something. But it's fine. This is a perfectly serviceable weapon for what I'm not going to use it for. So, let's just jump in. Nothing but angle shooter on this one. Let's see how well we do. I don't imagine we're going to do great, but I want to see. Can we win a game? Leading on my teammates without using the fire button once. And same for the special. I can never use my special. I am just using angle shooter. So this is going to be interesting. It's a good thing they buffed the paint on this said weapon over the past couple months, because I'm going to need a lot of paint. Yeah, it would really help if I could paint, right, guys? Sorry, my ZL button, not my ZL, my ZR button broke. My ZL button broke. This challenge would not actually work. We would lose immediately. Okay, got it. I'm gonna do this just so I have a spot to stand on. Taking the lead, that's a good start. Here, cracking out, that's their cracking. I'm gonna mark it. It's really all I can do, because it's invincible right now. Ain't that. I'm gonna wait here for a second. With a dart. Really wish I could just shoot that blob right now. Instincts tell me to press shoot button, but I can't, because we must do only angle shooter. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, there's someone nearby. Yeah, there you go. All right, I got him. Good. All right, they got me. That's a really good line, man. That Pikachu did good. They're mainly focused on their special, but I'm mainly focused on angle shooter. Because, I don't know, I'm dumb. Hey man, when they say angle shooter here, who's the best one? Who's the best one at aiming? Oh, I gotta take the challenge quite literally. I'm just about at a point where I can start throwing more of these things. Also, I'm at the point where I'm dead, so, oops. The blobs coming in with their Kraken. We got a Kraken out. I think I might be dead. All right, there you go. I got him. You're welcome. That's the only thing I can do. Can't fire my gun. This is going better than I expected. Like, I'm not really helping the team much here, but I am getting some kills. There's a blob. Careful, teammates. Now, since I'm getting a lot of ink back with the ink recovery buffs from Last Ditch, and more ink saver is activated for my sub weapon, I'm throwing a lot more angle shooters now. Oh wow, how that guy hit me. I wasn't even near the dart. I was on the other side of the wall by the time it killed me. That's some good latency for you. Alright, jumping back in. Careful here. I thought I saw someone. There they are. Okay, and now I think that's the same thing that happened to me, so now I know how it feels. I might have actually bounced it off the tree, which if I did that, then it's the most clutch shot of the century. Speaking of clutch, how am I alive? Let's throw that down, climb up. I really wish I could fire my gun. I really wish I could fire my gun. We'd be winning right now if I could fire my gun. I know this team definitely hates me. I would hate me too. But hey, look at the stuff I can do. Look at what I did. I at least got some kills. Especially that one-shot kill. That alone, if I banked something off the tree, now that's the way to go. So I won in my heart, if that's what I did. But I wasn't expecting to win that game. Moral of the story here is if I won that game, then my team hardcore carried me. Because there's no way I would have won by just using angle shooter. That is just, no. I cannot believe I had 6 kills with that. Assists counted, sure. But 1804 is our final challenge power. That's a pretty decent power, especially given how the last game I threw it all away by not even using my main gun. How did I do better than 2 other weapons? How did I do better than the Jet Squelcher and the Big Swig? How? Okay, I guess I am one of the better angle shooter guys here, so I guess I answered the question. Who's the best with angle shooter? Apparently me! Because my teammates didn't capitalize. Dang, man. I can't believe that worked out in my favor, but it did. So, that's it for the said challenge. Work the angles here. Very interesting challenge. It's a fun way of playing Splat Zones. If you're mainly focused on using the angle shooter special, or the sub, I keep wanting to call it special in this because it feels more like a special at times. But if you mainly want to use the angle shooter sub weapon, it's a very chaotic mode and it's a very fun and different way of playing Splat Zones. But when you take the angle shooter portion of this challenge out of the picture and you focus on the weapons that are available, it's Splat Zones with a sub weapon a lot of people aren't the most comfortable with and is really hard to use. Not to mention it takes up 80% of your ink tank for the looks of things. And then it also has weapons that a lot of people aren't comfortable with at all, like Rapid Blaster Pro Deco. You got the Big Swig Roller Express. The new Blah Blobber a lot of people may not even have yet because some people may not have enough tickets. So it's definitely one that I could see some people having mixed opinions on. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I played to the gimmick. If you're not playing to the gimmick of the angle shooter, then this one may not be for you. But that's going to do it for this video, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and with that said, I'll see you guys next time. I need to see that shot. We need to see it for science. It was near the end of the game. It was like, I would say almost the last minute. Let's say right here. Yeah, this was it, right? Yeah, this is it. It was their blob. The other blob. Oh my god, I did hit him off the wall. I need to do the overhead. Oh my gosh. You gotta see it one more time. Okay, there's the blob. There goes my angle shot. And right off the tree. Yeah, let's go. God, that guy is mad. You know it. There is no way that guy got out of that game like... like that kind of reaction. Like, that guy thought there was probably some hardcore lag, but no, that's just pure skill, baby. Yeah, that's right, pure skill. I meant to do that. I'm never gonna replicate again kind of game, I swear.